There was a time when people wrote like this. Why? Because paper was a luxury. So how do the old habits around paper, from conserving space to wasting it, show up in modern design? This is Let's Get Smarter on Materials. Today's subject, paper. For a long stretch of European history, writing wasn't as easy as buying 10,000 notebooks you'll never finish. Early writing media, like parchment and vellum, aka animal skin, were costly to make and reserved for deluxe books or official documents. Take the Gutenberg Bible. It's about 1,300 pages, with one estimate suggesting that a single vellum Bible could require 170 calfskins. It was essentially a small herd. Paper-making technology eventually spread through Europe, but for centuries, paper was still mostly made from rags, and the process was slow, labor-intensive, and dependent on limited raw material supply. In some places, rags became so important that restrictions on rag exports were introduced. This paper economy encouraged two very different writing behaviors across centuries. When paper was pricey and postage was often charged per sheet, people compressed. In the 1800s, writers would use cross-writing, wherein they would finish a page, rotate the sheet 90 degrees, and write over it to cram in twice as many words. You can see it clearly here in the letters of English novelist Jane Austen. On the flip side, elites prove status the same way they typically do, by wasting what others can't. In high status context, using more paper than necessary could read as wealth and courtesy. There's an English etiquette guide from the late 1600s that recommends using a full, large sheet even for a short message, because the lavish display of blank paper was a sign of respect. Big margins and white space were kind of a social signal, saying, I can afford the blank spaces. Today, we don't ration paper the same way we used to, but the visual logic rings a bell. Designers often use ample white space as a premium cue, and researchers have found that more white spaces in packaging can boost consumers' perception of luxury and quality. The mechanism is simple. White space clears the clutter and guides your eyes to what matters, the product. The deliberate breathing room makes it feel confident and therefore refined. This is the Apple playbook, which features abundant negative space and an overall style that is polished and premium. I'm not saying designers are consciously channeling 1600 etiquette rules. Rather, our modern sense of less is more draws a similar parallel, with white space becoming a psychological cue. If you have any other insights, please share. Let's get smarter together.